Today's workout is a 12-minute prenatal glutes and core workout. We're using a light to medium loop style band, so go ahead and place that onto your legs, about 2 inches above your knees on the meaty part of your quads. We're gonna come down onto our knees with your knees under your hips and then hands under your shoulders. We're gonna start with a hydrant, so lifting one leg at a time, bringing that knee up to about hip level and then back down. Let's repeat on the same side. Knee comes up and then drop it lightly on the floor. We're gonna stay on one side for the full interval, which is 50 seconds, and then we'll go to the other leg in just a minute. So for now, I want you to press evenly through your hands, keep your hips and shoulders square to the floor or the mat. And then you're lifting that knee as high as you can, no higher than hip level. And you wanna do so without collapsing into that opposite side. So it might not be as high as you think. So it might just be down here a few inches above the ground, or if it's too difficult with the band, you can take the band off and do it. Looking good? All right, we're gonna move on to our next exercise. So reset that posture. We're gonna lift the same leg for a kickback. So we're gonna bring that knee slightly off the ground right here, and then flex the foot, extend it to the back corner. Bring it in, extend. So you can see I'm bringing my knee in about under my hip, and then just driving straight back, pushing the heel to the back corner, and that's gonna get into your side glute. And just like with that hydrant, we wanna press evenly through the hands and keep the hips and shoulders square to the floor. And again, that leg stays about hip level. We don't wanna kick too high. That will make the lower back fatigue faster. So we wanna stay in control, keep that work more in the glutes, so we keep that leg a little bit lower. Nice job. We're moving on to our extended leg drops. So we're gonna extend that same leg straight back and then just lightly tap the toe on the ground. So extend, tap, lift. So your leg is about 45 degrees to the back corner. And you can see my foot's flexed, my toes pointed to the ground, and I'm just tapping lightly and then lifting a couple inches. Not super big movement here. But again, we want to keep that leg below hip level, hips and shoulders square to the floor, abs tight. So we're moving in a really controlled way. And again, it's not about speed here. I want you to just focus on that burn in your glute. Do you feel it at the top? Yes, hip level is where it's at. If you go too high, again, you're gonna feel that fatigue in your low back, and we wanna keep it less in the low back, more in the glute. Nice, all right. Moving on to a scorpion lift, so reset. If you need to, you can check out your hands for a second. We're gonna kick that leg up and push the heel to the ceiling. Here we go. So leg stays bent, push the heel straight up, bring the knee lightly to the floor. Bend, push, bring it down. So once you come knee about hip level, you wanna drive that heel up to the ceiling. Might not be perfectly pushing to the ceiling. It's kind of a coordination thing. So don't worry too much about how good it looks. The goal is just to keep that calf pulling in toward your hamstring, so you keep that tension in the back, in the glute, and the hamstring, and then flex that foot, drive it up. And again, it's just a little push at the top, just a couple inches, not trying to take it too high. Again, because we want to keep that work in that leg, out of the low back. It's working your back indirectly, but we don't want to fatigue the low back, so that's why we don't make those movements super big. Rest. All right. Push back on those hands for just a second. We're gonna repeat on the other side. Shift your weight forward, hydrants. Here we go. Lift that knee up. Slowly put it down. This side will automatically be a little bit harder because we fatigued one side already. So if you need longer breaks, feel free to take them. I try to make these workouts quick so you can get them done during maybe a nap time or lunch break, whatever, but you can always extend them, make them a little bit longer if you need more breaks or you want to do more sets. We're only doing one set today, but you could definitely do 2 sets. Again, moving with control here. And this one's also great without the resistance band. You're still gonna strengthen, work your core and glutes, but the resistance band just gives you that added bonus. All right, rest for a second. We're gonna move to that kickback. So reset those hands. Bending the knee, we drive it to the back corner. Squeeze that glute. Push through your heel here. You're gonna feel it in your shoulders too. That's the benefit of these as well. We're not just getting the glutes, we're not just getting the core, we're getting that full body. And these are really functional exercises to keep you strong throughout your pregnancy. Just because we can't do traditional ab exercises like crunches doesn't mean we can't get strong. And honestly, crunches are not even the most functional or beneficial exercise for your abs. Stuff like this is even better. Pregnant or not, these are what you should be doing. Rest. All right, we're gonna move to that extended leg drop. Reset, remember, keep that core nice and tight. Extend that leg, tap, squeeze. Push through those hands, you got it. I know we're starting to feel that fatigue in the arms. Hips are getting tight. Hang on, we're about halfway there. Whew, last 10 seconds. We got this. Rest. All right, we're moving on to that scorpion lift. If your band comes up a little, just like mine did, just bring it down a little. All right, here we go. Flex that foot. Let's drive that heel up and back. Again, keeping that calf toward your hamstring. Pushing that heel straight up or as close to the ceiling as you can get it. It might not be perfect. I'm sure mine doesn't look perfect. But if you have a mirror, it's a good one to look at yourself in the mirror. The most important thing here is that you're taking that knee about hip level and then pushing up. And that way you're working into that glute and hamstring. And you're gonna feel it in that opposite hip as well. And your abs and your shoulders as you're working to stabilize. 10 seconds to go. Nice. All right, we're moving on to a clam lift. So we're gonna come onto our right forearm, elbow under shoulder, hips in line with shoulder or in line with elbow, heels together. We're gonna lift the hip, open those knees, close the knees, drop the hip. So we lift, open, close, and drop. Once you get the hang of it, you can make it a more fluid movement. So you're lifting and opening those knees at the same time. I want you to make sure you're lifting from the bottom side of your waist. So you're picking up your waistline, pushing through your forearm, keeping those heels glued together. And those things, when done all together, are gonna get you the most bang for your buck for this exercise. This one's great for your side glutes and your inner abdominal wall, that transverse abdominis, which is really important to keep strong, especially during pregnancy, because our abs naturally separate and we get diastasis recti, most of us anyway. So working that TVA, rest, flip on the other side. Oh no, we're gonna stay on the same side. We're gonna do a clam pulse. So we're gonna stay on the same side, lift, and we're gonna bring those knees up and pulse it. So keep it open, just a tiny lift. And again, you're pulling your belly button in toward your spine here, pushing through that forearm, keeping that bottom hip off the floor. Lifting from that waistline. Now this one's intense. If you need to, put your hip down, keep your waistline lifted, and do it like this. That way you're still getting that work in your side glutes, but taking a little pressure out of your hip and your shoulder. All right, we've only got 10 seconds left. Who's coming back up? Whew, burns like no other. That's why you want to go light on that band. Switch, now we're gonna do the other side of those clam lifts. Yeah, this is a great one. If it's too intense, take the band off. Remember, shoulder, hip, feet in line, lift and open, come back down. Again, we want the heels to stay together here. Picking up your waistline. Again, this side will be harder. We've already fatigued those hips a lot. So be patient with yourself, and every time you do this workout, try to start on a different side. So we're not always starting with the same side. That way you don't just fatigue the same side first every time. Maintaining that breath work. Pulling your belly button in toward your spine at the top. Engaging that transverse abdominis. Nice. All right, the clam pulses are coming back. Good news is it's our last exercise. Push through that form, lift your waistline, lift the hip, let's pulse. It's a tiny movement, that's all you need. Staying up at the top, keeping those hips still, and then just that top leg lifts and opens. Now remember your option. If you're starting to fatigue, that shoulder's hurting, or you need to drop, keep that waistline lifted, keep that knee open, bring it up. Whew. Final push. Come on up if you can. Almost there, 5 seconds. Oh, man, that is an intense 12 minutes. Hope you all enjoyed that. Pregnant or not, that's gonna get your core and glutes really strong. And if you need more pregnancy core, glute, or full body workouts, be sure to check out my playlist on my channel, and I'll see you next time.